What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down how to throw on the run and how you guys can be more accurate, more consistent, and get more velocity and distance on your throws on the run, okay? So I hope this video gives you guys some value and just gives you some insight on just how you guys can be a more mechanically sound passer when it comes to throwing on the run and extending the play, okay? But also, fellas, if you guys want to improve your arm strength in 10 days, you want a 10-day step-by-step arm strength training program where we give you specific on-field drills, specific exercises in the gym, and the mechanical aspects of arm strength, check out that very first link in the description. It's a 45-minute long video on everything to make you have more velocity on your throws, get more distance on your throws, and improve your deep ball throws. Hope we get you guys on that soon. Again, very first link in the description. Let's get started. So, the first clip here is going to be from Zach Wilson, this throw down the field, right? This is a hell of a throw. It was ultimately dropped, but you see how much he was able to put this thing on a dime around two defenders. Just drop this thing straight in. So let's talk about the mechanical aspects of this throw and what do you need to know when you're throwing on the run. So the most important thing on the run is that you want to think of it like everything's flipped, right? So everything, when you throw normally, right, the common thing that everybody taught was you want to step with your front foot, point it towards the target, right? But now on the run, it's like it's flipped, right? So you want to step with your throwing side foot. So if you're a right-hander, you want to step with your right foot. If you're a left-hander, you want to step with your left foot, because what that does is that loads your hips. So you want to think of it as an opposite thing when you're on the run. That's the main focus, is what if you step in the direction of the throw with your throwing side foot, that's what will load your hips there. You could rotate those shoulders and get some more torque on that. So now let's go into more detail. So when you step with your throwing side foot, you see how Wilson, when he steps, he's getting his foot in the ground. I know this is a little bit blurry, but you can still kind of get the gist of it because it's such a great example. When he steps with that throwing side foot, you see how that front shoulder is closed and he's taking the ball back. He's rotating, right? What that front foot does is that loads your hips. So when you load your hips in the direction of that throw, that creates that coil, that dissociation that everybody loves to talk about, which gives you that velocity and gives you that arm strength on the ball. Or not necessarily arm strength, but like more distance, especially in this case, when you're throwing this thing downfield on the run, escaping the play. And that's the next throw we're going to look at with Lamar Jackson. We're going to be talking about a throw that he made probably like 50, 60 yards downfield on the run. How is he able to do that, right? So it comes down to being able to separate your shoulders from your hips, right? You see that like perfect example. They call this dissociation, right? And if you're familiar with my channel, you've probably heard me talk about that before. The dissociation, and you see that like that drill that Dak Prescott did, that's what that's working on. Your hips go through as you take the ball back. Now on the run, it's the same idea. And sometimes guys who struggle with normal dissociation when they're throwing just from the pocket, throwing on the run is a great way to get that feel for that like stroke, if you will, get that feel for how the ball's supposed to come off your hand, right? So you step with the throwing side leg that loads your hips as you rotate those shoulders. Now, why is that important? Because when your shoulders go back and your hips are going forward and you take a solid step with that front leg, you're going to have coil on the thing. You're going to have, it's going to be like a spring off of your hand if you kick that left leg through. So you see how when Wilson goes to throw, I know it's a little bit blurry, but he kicks the left leg through the direction of the throw. You want to almost pretend like, let's say you're at the beach and you got sand on your feet and you're trying to kick that sand at somebody. You step with the throwing side leg, rotate those shoulders. You're trying to kick the sand at somebody so it gets on them and whatever. So you want to kick in the direction of the throw because that keeps your hip path clean, right? So when you kick in the direction of the throw, you step with that leg, you rotate those shoulders. If you kick through as you almost like pull this front hand back to your chest, you don't swing open your shoulder. That's how you're going to get torque. That's how you're going to get velocity, and that's how you'll be consistent, right? So now you see what do I mean by with that front hand? So what a lot of guys will do is they'll get to this position, but that elbow will swing down. That elbow will go to your hip. So now you want to think of your body as like there's a midline going down the middle of it, right? That's actually like a common term that you use in anatomy, right? The midline, right? So that's how you want to focus on it. If you swing your front elbow down, your arm is going to go up and you're going to be coming down on the ball because your elbow is going to affect your release point. It's like almost like a teeter-totter, right? And you want to be balanced. So if Wilson were to be here, rotate his shoulders, he did everything right, but as he kicked that left leg through and he started to swing this through, that elbow started to go down, his release would get pushed up high. But you see how he just kind of keeps that hand by his chest. It's almost like you go back and you pull it back to your chest. You take that front hand, you pull it back to your chest as your hips are doing all the work. That's what's going to help you kind of keep that clean release point, because you see his arm right here, it's in this like perfect 90-degree L, right? And that L is how you get that accuracy and you get a consistent release point. The release point is what ties into accuracy. So if you're here, you pull that thing back to your chest, your release point is going to be clean. Now, what a lot of people have been taught also is that you want to be here, you want to start with your front shoulder on the target. Then when you finish the throw, you want to replace your back shoulder with your front shoulder. You want to rotate all the way through. But if you were to do that on the run and you were to be here and kick through and you started to swing your shoulder around, your arm would fly. Because if you open up, your arm's going to come sidearm. You're going to come across the motion. If you go down, your arm's going to go up and you're going to come down on the throw, right? Like almost like a pitcher. But you want to pull that thing nice and tight to your frame because that gives that like snappiness with the motion. It's almost like that like you're like twisting something, you know what I mean? Like your shoulders and hips are separate, but your hips shoot through, shoulders stay back. That gives you that torque. That gives you that pop on the ball, give you that consistent release point, okay? So now we're going to take a look. Let's watch the thing full speed one more time. We're going to talk about how you guys can be more accurate, how you can have a consistent hip path on the run now with this throw with Lamar Jackson. So he's going to throw this thing downfield in this like deep over route to Hollywood Brown. Again, climbs up in the pocket, tosses this thing downfield, and we're able to make a catch over the top. So now the key on this is the one thing I want to focus on is that what a lot of people struggle with, especially in a situation where they got to escape out of the pocket, right? Not every situation is a basic sprint out where you just get out, roll downhill, attack the target, chop your feet, and then throw. A lot of the times you're being chased, right? And if I'm being chased out of there by multiple guys, I'm not going to be able to slow down. I got to get this thing out of my hands fast, right? So what does it come down to? We just talked about that with Zach Wilson. You want to step with your throwing side foot in the direction of the throw. What a lot of people do, rather than stepping here, throwing back across the field, they'll step here and try to overcompensate with their shoulders, and that ball is going to be a weak throw. You got to load your hips. You got to get your hips there, and you see right foot's coming down where his shoulders. His shoulders are going back, so we could get that nice torque and snap when you see how he kicks that left leg through in the direction of the throw. Now, that's the other thing that I want to focus on because everybody's loves to say, when you're rolling this way and you throw back across here, oh, it's across your body, right? And it is across your body if you have incorrect mechanics. If you go here, and this is what a lot of people do because their momentum is taking them this way. So that's why you understand it, right? You're rolling out to the sideline. Maybe you got to hit like an over route coming back across your face. If your momentum is going towards the sideline, you're more likely to kick your left leg towards the sideline because your momentum is going there. But when you step with your throwing side leg, you want to make sure it's a solid step. You want to make sure that you're stepping there. It's a solid step. You're loading your hips. You're getting ready to throw. You rotate those shoulders back. So now when I kick through with my left leg, I can kick through in the direction of the throw because that right leg step, that solid step, gave me some balance. Now I'm ready to make this throw, right? So you see Jackson does a great job of that. Now, what if you do everything correctly? What if you're able to step with that leg, rotate your shoulders, kick through, but you just don't have that accuracy? Really focus on your follow through. Really overemphasize you flicking your wrist. Maybe you're thinking about it like you're throwing at a dartboard. Maybe you think about it like you got a booger on your finger and you're trying to flick the booger off at the target. Think of something that helps you really overemphasize that follow through because you want to think of it like you're going out to dinner, your body pays the tab and your arm pays the tip. So really emphasize getting that power there with your body, focusing on that follow through to give you that consistency and that accuracy if you're doing everything right and you feel like you're still missing certain throws, okay? So let's watch the thing again, full speed. Great throw here by Lamar Jackson, sending this thing downfield. This is like a Patrick Mahomes type throw. That's a great job by him. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, please leave those in the comments below. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And also, fellas, you want to improve your arm strength in 10 days. 10 days, step-by-step process, drill schedule, workout schedule, all things to improve your arm strength, give you more velocity, more distance on your throws. Check out that very first link in the description, and I'll see you guys next time.